It is a tradition in the College of Fine Arts to ask a graduating senior to address this convocation on behalf of the student body. I would like to express our gratitude to all the graduates who were involved in this process. The 2024 Student Convocation speaker is Edward Sturm. And I will tell you about Edward. Edward is a BFA Theater Arts major, a history minor, and a Killishawn Honors College student. During his time at CFA, Edward has collaborated widely as both a dramaturg and performer, and has been distinguished for his talents as a playwright. His full-length play Priscilla received a developmental workshop at the Joan and Edgar Booth Theater this past fall. And equally important and equally at home in opera, Edward served as the assistant director on the most recent production of Central Leon. And he will continue his directing work this summer at Central City Opera in Colorado. Outside of the university, Edward has held a variety of artistic and administrative posts at major companies, including Actors Shakespeare Project, the Glimmerglass Festival, Arcola Theater, A Beautiful Noise, the Neil Diamond musical, and Music Theater Wichita. He is always excited to explore the ever-expanding possibilities of theater alongside caring people. And I will just personally add, it has been incredible to watch our speaker journey, succeed, thrive, conquer over the last few years. Please join me in welcoming your speaker, Edward Sturm.
Thank you, Dean Young. Members of the class of 2024. It is an honor to stand before you today on this most consequential of days, just as it has been an honor to share our slice of Comm Ave with you for the past 4 years. I do not know what cosmic event produced such great good fortune for each of us, that in a world which makes cruelty and suffering banal in its repetition, we have had the chance to come here for the express purpose of contemplating art and beauty. It's a gift for which I am profoundly grateful. Today, I find it a special privilege to speak to a room full of artists and people who love and support artists for many reasons, not least of which because I think you'll humor me if my metaphors grow too flowery. I want to talk about art as a way of knowing. If the regalia is any indicator, we've all accumulated vast knowledge in the past few years. And yet in this moment of transition, when we are so often asked to prove ourselves, to defend our ideas and identities shaped into culminating projects, to market that which we have to offer, I sometimes find myself wondering if I actually know anything at all. In our so-called knowledge economy, the demand for certain types of knowing arrives every few years with an almost religious fervor. The world says we need more data scientists, and so we build a Jenga building and we have more data scientists. Or else the world says we need more artificial intelligence, and so we gather experts in machine learning and we have more AI. The world rarely says we need more artists, at least not in as many words, but I'm convinced that we do. And my time at the CFA has taught me to listen for the quieter ways that the world calls out for this way of knowing, for our way of knowing. What is it that the artist knows, and how does one learn it? Beyond the specifics of craft and the language of technicalities, there is something else, something of the translator, the intermediary between the concrete and the sublime. Most areas of public life rely on an objective reality, on the sharp edges of a fact, the cold weight of a statistic. I do not mean to say that these things are foreign to us, the opposite. They are our raw materials. We as artists adapt the harsh realities of the world. We look for inspiration in the most unlikely of places. We flip the floor and discover on the ceiling that which we were after the whole time. What the artist knows is less quantifiable than science, less recordable than history, and less rational than economics. It is knowledge that does not always flow from literature or lecture, Often we come to know something without ever realizing that we learned it. It is our gift to go out and share a way of knowing that resides not only in the mind, but also in the body and in the soul. This is the way that I think art most often changes the world. Not through the momentous sort of changes which melt hard-hearted powers or reorganize people's lives. I'm convinced those happen far more often in movies. But the small ones, the kinds that we at the CFA can experience just by walking to class. Turning the corner and feeling a hitch in the breath at the sight of a painting of Blueberry Cobbler. Or else catching the swelling of a chest at hearing a cello on the other side of a practice room door. Or coming face to face with an 8-foot-tall statue of the Gerber baby, perfect for a play in Studio One. These are all true events, of course. They are the measure-by-measure ways we come to realize that we can't live without the artist's way of knowing. We never could. Last year, I took an acting class where our professor insisted that we bring our Shakespeare out into the world. And so, armed only with a short monologue from As You Like It, our class walked to Central Campus, into the GSU at lunch hour. I was up first, and the professor pointed me toward a stranger hard at work on his laptop and said, "Go." I walked over, I sat down across from him, and then I said with some urgency, "Oh, you memory of old Sir Roland, why, what make you here?" And let me tell you, he was with me. He leaned in. He said, what do you mean? I don't understand. But I had to keep going. I only had the text, so I say, "Why are you virtuous? Why do people love you? And wherefore are you gentle, strong, and valiant?" Somewhere in there, he must have realized that I was either completely crazy or speaking a language he did not understand. And yet, how exciting it was for his world and mine to converge in that moment. We have spent the past few years dutifully confined to our own studios and practice rooms. We invite others in on occasion, and sometimes we make fumbling steps out the door to share what we know with people over in the GSU. But graduation marks the chance for a new boldness, a moment to rush out the door and parade what we know for the benefit of all who don't. The sun is out there, and we must go. Our time at the university has been marked by this inching toward light. For many of us, our first moments at BU were defined by darkness, by isolation and COVID testing, by a dreaded red badge on the student portal. And yet, Homi Bhabha writes that the state of emergency is also a state of emergence. Our time here has been a story of that emerging, both as an institution and as individual people and artists. We all looked at one of the most challenging global moments in a century and said, "We got this." We continue to practice, to learn, to create. And now on this day of celebration, when we all get to sit closely with people we love, we can look back and know that it was worth it. Members of the class of 2024, as you leave BU, I hope that you don't forget to marvel at what we've accomplished, at the astronomical improbability of this opportunity. I hope that you take with you a real sense of gratitude, along with the deep connections, the fond memories, and the rich artistry I know you have. I hope that you share fearlessly our way of knowing with everyone you meet. The world is waiting for you. Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2024.
I'm going to invite Edward to come back up for a second. That was extraordinary. This is not written, this is me saying these things. And to think about the journey, the challenges, the perseverance, the resilience of this class of 2024, and how you capture that. And I love the phrase, right? The state of emergency is also leads to this sort of state of emergence, right? It's just amazing. So I'm going to invite our whole community here to fully express our appreciation for those remarks. And you're going to stand right over there, right? Because that was extraordinary. A round of applause.